Hi, my name is Atif and welcome to 16th part of Real Estate App Development Series. In this part, we will complete implementing the code to upload property data, including images to Firebase. So let's start by opening the project in Android Studio. First of all, we need to add click listener on the post add button that is available in the activity post add.xml file. Let's check the ID of the button. ID is submit button. Come in the end of onCreate function, binding dot submit button dot set on click listener. Before uploading data to Firebase, we need to input data and validate data, and we will do it in the separate function. Name of function will be validate data. After creating the function, make sure to call this function in the click listener of submit button. After calling this function, come in the start of this activity, we need to move the purpose and category variables above the validate data function. We will create all variables before the validate data function. Now we will paste the variables that we have copied here. So far we have created the variables to input the property purpose, property category. Now we need to create another variable of type string to input the property subcategory. Private variable, name of the variable will be subcategory. Initialize it with the empty string. Similarly, we have created another variable of type string with name floors. After that, we have created another variable bedrooms. Now we need to create another variables bathrooms, and to hold the area size we need to create another variable of type string with name area size, and we also need to hold the area size unit, so variable name will be area size unit. After that, we need to create a variable to hold the price, and next variable name will be title. Similarly, we also need to create a variable to hold the description of the property. We also need to create a variable to hold the email. After that, we need to create a variable to hold the phone code, that is country code. We also need to create a variable to hold the phone number. Name of the variable will be phone number and initialize it with the empty string. Now we will create a variable to hold the country of the property. Name of the variable will be country. Similarly, we also need to create a variable to hold the city and another variable to hold the address. After that, we will create another variable. Name of the variable will be latitude, that will hold the latitude of the property. Similarly, longitude to hold the longitude of the property. So far, we have created variables to hold the user input. Now we will start inputting the data from the user, and we will start it by inputting the subcategory. Subcategory equal to binding dot property subcategory autocomplete text view dot text dot to string dot trim. After inputting the subcategory, we will input the number of floors equal to binding dot floors edit text dot to string dot trim. Now we need to input the bedrooms, binding dot bedrooms edit text. Similarly, we need to input the bathrooms equal to binding dot bathrooms edit text. After that, we will input the area size equal to binding dot area size edit text. Similarly, we also need to input the area size unit, binding dot area size unit autocomplete text view. After inputting the area size, we need to input the address equal to binding dot location Open the activity post at .xml file and check the ID of the location input field. ID is location autocomplete text view. Binding dot location autocomplete text view dot text dot to string dot trim. After that we will input the price of the property. Price equal to binding dot price edit text. Open the activity post at .xml file and check the ID of the price input field. We need to change the ID from the wallet edit text to price edit text. Now open the activity again, binding dot price edit text. Now we need to input the title of the property. Title equal to binding dot title edit text. We also need to input the description of the property. Binding dot description edit text. After inputting the description, we need to input the email of the property. Email equal to binding dot email edit text. After that, we will input the phone code. Phone code equal to, we need to input the phone code from country code picker. Binding dot phone code text input layout dot selected country code with plus. Now we need to input the phone number. Phone number equal to binding dot phone number edit text dot to string dot trim. So far we have input the data from the user. Now we need to validate the data and we will start it from the subcategory. If subcategory dot is empty, this condition will be called if user has not input the subcategory. In that case we will set error to subcategory autocomplete text view. Binding dot property subcategory autocomplete text view dot error, and error will be choose subcategory. We also need to move the focus to the property subcategory autocomplete text view using binding dot property subcategory autocomplete text view dot request focus. Now we need to check if user has entered the number of floors or not, but only if the selected category is homes. We have defined the property types array in the myUtils class. So else if category equal to myUtils dot property types, index will be 0 and floors dot is empty. This condition will be called if selected category is home and user has not entered anything in floors input field. In that case we will set error to floors edit text. Error will be enter floors. We also need to move the focus to floors edit text using binding dot floors edit text dot request focus. Similarly, we also need to check if user has entered the number of bedrooms. Copy this statement and paste it after here. After pasting this statement, make sure to change the floors to bedrooms. Bedrooms dot is empty. It means user has not entered the number of bedrooms. In that case, we will set error to bedrooms edit text. Error will be enter bedrooms count. We also need to request focus to bedrooms edit text. Similarly, once again copy this statement and paste it. After pasting the code, make sure to change the bedrooms to bathrooms. So it will be bathrooms dot is empty. It means user has not entered anything in the bathrooms edit text. In that case, we will set error and also request focus. After that, we need to check if user has entered the area size. For that, we need to create a condition else if area size dot is empty. This condition will be called if user has not entered the area size. So we will set the error to area size edit text and error will be enter area size. After setting the error to the area size edit text, we also need to request focus to area size edit text using binding dot area size edit text dot request focus. After that, we also need to check if user has chosen the area size unit. For that, we are going to create another condition, else if area size unit dot is empty, this means user has not chosen the area size. In that case, we will set error to area size unit autocomplete text view. Error will be choose area size unit. Also make sure to change the binding dot area size unit autocomplete text view dot request focus. After that, we are going to create another condition to check if user has picked the location or not. For that, we will check if address dot is empty. This means user has not chosen the location. Later on, we will pick the location from the map. Now we are setting the error to location autocomplete text view. Error will be pick location. Also make sure to request focus to location autocomplete text view. For now, we will just comment this statement because we have not implemented the Google Map to pick the location. Let's move further. We need to check if user has entered the price or not. Else if price dot is empty, this means user has not entered the price. In that case, we will set error to price edit text. Error will be enter price. We also need to request the focus to price edit text using price edit text dot request focus. Let's create another condition to check if a user has entered the title of the property. Else if title dot is empty, this means user has not entered the title. So in that case, we will set error to title edit text. Also make sure to request focus to title edit text. Now we will create another condition to check if user has entered the description of the property or not. Else if description dot is empty, this means user has not entered the description of the property. In that case, we will set error to description edit text and also request focus to description edit text. Now we need to check if user has entered the phone number. For that, we are going to create a condition, else if phone number dot is empty, this means user has not entered the phone number. In that case, we will set error to phone number edit text and we also need to request focus to phone number edit text. Now we need to check if user has picked any image or not. For that, we are going to create another condition, else if images picked array list dot is empty. This condition will be called if a user has not picked any image. In that case, we will show message to user using toast myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message we want to show. Message will be pick at least one image. Now we have added validation for all data. So we are going to create an else statement which will be called if all data is validated. In that case, we will start uploading the data to Firebase. For that, we have created a separate function with name post add. After creating the function, make sure to call this function in the else statement. In start of this function, we have created a simple log.d to print a simple message in logcat to indicate this function is called. We need to show the progress dialog while the data is being uploaded to Firebase. So let's create the progress dialog in the class level, private, let init variable, progress dialog, which is of type progress dialog. We also need to create Firebase auth, private, let init variable, Firebase auth, which is of type Firebase auth. Now we will initialize the progress dialog in the onCreate function. Progress dialog equal to progress dialog. Pass the context as parameter. Progress dialog dot set title. Title of the progress dialog will be please wait. To disable dismissing progress dialog when user click outside of the progress dialog, we have called the function dot set cancelled on touch outside with value false. We also need to initialize the Firebase auth. Firebase auth equal to Firebase auth dot get instance. Now come again in the post add function. Before doing anything else, we need to set the message to progress dialog, and we also need to show the progress dialog. So let's start by setting the message to progress dialog. Progress dialog dot set message, and the message will be publishing add. After that, progress dialog dot show. When the property category is homes, then we don't input the value of floors, bedrooms and bathrooms. So in that case, these values will be empty. That's why we are adding the check. If these values are empty, then we will initialize them with the string 0, because later on we need to save the values of these variables with type long. After that, we need to get the current timestamp that will be used to show time and date of add published. Value timestamp equal to myutils.timestamp. Timestamp is the function in the myutils class that get and returns the current timestamp. Now we need to create an instance of the Firebase database with the path where we will save the data of the property. Value reference equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. Path will be properties. After that, we need to get the key ID from this reference that will be used as ID of the property. Value key ID equal to reference. Rename the reference to reference properties dot push dot key. This key ID will be used as the ID of the property. Now we need to set up the data in the form of key value in the hash map. Value hash map equal to hash map. Key will always of type string and value can be of any. Now we will start putting the data in the hash map. First data will be ID equal to key ID. After adding the ID, we will add hash map. Key name will be UID equal to Firebase auth dot UID. This is the UID of the current user. After adding the UID of the user, we will add purpose of the property, which we have saved in the variable purpose. Now we will put the category of the property. Key name will be category and value will be category. After adding the category, we need to add the subcategory. Key name will be subcategory, and we have saved the subcategory in the variable with name subcategory. Next, we need to add the title of the property. So key name will be title, and we have saved the title of the property in the variable with name title. After adding the title, we will add description of the property. Key name will be description, and the variable name is description. Now we need to add email for the property. Key name will be email, and as a value we will pass the value of the variable email. After that, we need to save the phone code of the property, phone code, and also phone number. Key name will be phone number, and we have saved the phone number in the variable with name phone number. Now we need to add country of the property. Key name will be country and value of the variable will be country. We also need to save the city of the property. We have saved the city in the variable city. We also need to add the address of the property. Key name will be address, variable name is address. After that, we need to save the status of the property, for example available, sold or rented, but we have not created the status yet. Open the myutils class. Let's create our first status constant value. Name of the status will be add status available and pass the value available. Let's create another status that will be constant value add status sold. Pass the value sold. And the last status name will be, make sure to add the values in the capital letters. Last status will be add status rented and value will also rented. After that, open the post add activity class again. When user publish the ad, the status will be available. Later on, the user can change the status to sold or rented. Now we need to add the area size unit of the property in the hash map. Key name will be area size unit and we have saved the area size unit in the variable with name area size unit. Next we need to add the number of floors. Key name will be floors and we have saved the number of floors in the variable with name floors. Type will be long instead of string. Similarly, we will add the number of bedrooms. Key name will be bedrooms and we have saved number of bedrooms in the variable bedrooms. Make sure to save the values of the variables floors, bedrooms and bathrooms in the form of long instead of string. This will help us to show the details in the property details and also to filter the properties. After that, we need to add the price of the property. Key name will be price and value of variable will be price. We need to save the price in the form of double. After saving the price in the form of double, we will add the timestamp. Key name will be timestamp and variable name is also timestamp. Timestamp will be saved in the form of long, which is already in the form of long, so we don't need to convert it to long. After saving the timestamp, we will save the latitude of the property, which will be in the form of double, and longitude of the property, which is also in the form of double. And with that, our hash map is now completed. Now come in start of this function after progress dialog. We also need to add check on the floors. If number of floors is empty, then we will initialize the variable with the value 0 in the form of string. Because if property category is not homes, then we will not input the number of floors, bedrooms and bathrooms. Now we will put our data to Firebase database using reference properties dot child property id that is available in the key id dot set value. Pass the hash map as parameter. After that, we need to add the success listener dot add on success listener. This function will be called if data is successfully saved. We also need to add the failure listener dot add on failure listener. This function will be called if there is any exception while saving the data. Rename the parameter to e. In that case, we will show the exception to the logcat and also dismiss progress dialog. In the last, we will show the exception message to user using toast. Pass the context as first parameter and message as second parameter. After that, come in the add on success listener function and create log.d to print a message in logcat that ad published. Now we need to start uploading the images. For that, we will create a separate function, private function. Name of the function will be upload images. Upload images storage. This function will require a parameter of type string that will be property id. So when we will call this function, we will pass the id of the property. After creating the function, make sure to call this function in the add on success listener and pass the property id. Now come again in the function upload images storage. In start of this function, we will create a log.d to print the property ID in the logcat. Since there might be multiple images, so we need to create a for loop for integer I in images picked array list dot indices. Now we will create an instance of the model class value model image picked equal to images picked array list and use the I as the index from the array list. Later on when we will edit the property, then there will be some images from the Firebase and some from the camera or gallery. That's why we have created the condition if not model image picked dot is from internet. This condition will be called if the current image is from camera or gallery. In that case, we will upload the image value image name equal to model image pic dot id. This will be used as the name of the image value file path and name equal to properties slash. This will be used to save the image in properties folder of Firebase storage. Now we need to create a variable of type integer that will be used to contain a value to show in the progress dialog that will indicate the current number of image being uploaded. Name the variable as image index for progress equal to I plus 1. We have done I plus 1 because in our loop I start from 0. Now we are going to create a variable of type URI that will contain the URI of the image that we will upload to Firebase storage. After that we need to create an instance of the Firebase storage where we will save the image. Value storage reference equal to Firebase storage dot get instance dot get reference. Pass the file path and name as parameter. After creating the instance of the storage reference, we will use that reference to put the image URI in the Firebase storage. Storage reference dot put file. Pass the image URI which is available with the name picked image URI. Picked image URI. After that we will add progress listener dot add on progress listener. This function will be called when there is a change in the progress of image being uploaded. Name the parameter as snapshot. In this function, we will show the progress in the progress dialog. Let's create a variable value progress equal to 100 multiplied by snapshot dot bytes transferred. Now we need to divide it by snapshot dot total bytes count. This will contain the progress of the image being uploaded. Now we will create another variable value message. This will contain the message that we will show in the progress dialog. Uploading dollar image index for progress of image picked array list dot size images. For example, the message will become uploading 3 of 10 images. We also need to show the current progress, new line, progress, concatenate the value of the progress variable. This will show the progress in the new line of progress dialog. So far we have calculated the progress, prepared the message for the progress dialog. Now we will show that message in the logcat and also in progress dialog. Progress dialog dot set message. Pass the message as parameter and also use progress dialog dot show to show the progress dialog. After that we will create a success listener function that will be called when image is successfully uploaded to Firebase storage. Add on success listener. Name the parameter as task snapshot. We will use that parameter to get the URL of the uploaded image because we need to save that URL in our Firebase database. Now we will create a variable of type URI task value URI task equal to task snapshot dot storage dot download URL. This URI task may take some time, that's why we need to create a while loop. While not URI task dot is successful, this loop will continue until the URI task is done successfully. Value uploaded image URL equal to URI task dot result. This is the actual URL of the image that is uploaded to Firebase storage. Now we need to check if UI task was successful. If it was successful, then we will upload the URL to Firebase database. Once again, we need to create an instance of the hashmap. Value hashmap equal to hashmap. Key will be of type string and value can be of any type. And now we need to add the ID and URL of the image in the hash map. Key name will be ID. As a ID we will use model image picked dot ID. After that we need to put the URL of the image that we have uploaded to Firebase storage. Key name is image URL. As a value pass uploaded image URL. After that we will create an instance of the Firebase database. Value reference properties equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. Pass the properties as reference. Now we need to pass the property ID as a child. Reference properties dot child property ID dot child images dot child image ID, that is image name. Now we need to pass the hash map using update children. Make sure to use update children instead of set value. Now after if statement we need to dismiss the progress dialog using progress dialog dot dismiss. So far we have added the success listener. We also need to add the failure listener. That will be called if there is any exception while adding the data to Firebase. In that case, we will show the exception in logcat using log.e and pass the e as third parameter. We also need to dismiss progress dialog and also show the exception message to user using toast. MyUtils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message we want to show, and message will be failed to upload image due to e.message. In this video, we have input the data from the user, validated the data, and uploaded the data including image to Firebase. Now run the app in an emulator or in real device. Before starting testing, make sure to review the code and match the code with mine. I have also placed the comments to make it more easy to understand for you. Remember, we have not implemented the Google Map to pick the address. That's why we have commented the validation for the address. We will implement the Google Map in the next part that will be used to pick the address for the properties and to search the properties. After reviewing the code carefully, come in start of this activity and we will copy the tag for this class. Copy the tag, copy, open logcat and paste the tag here. So it will show only those logs which are printed using this tag. When the app runs successfully, open profile section, click the post ad button, select the property purpose and category. You will notice one thing, that is when you select homes category, it shows the floors, bedrooms and bathrooms. And when you select the other categories like plots or commercials, it hides the floors, bedrooms, and bathrooms. Now start testing like enter input in one field and click post add button. It will show error to the next empty input field. Then add the data into that input field and click post add button. It will show error to next empty input field. For example, enter the price of the property and after entering the price of the property, click post add button. It will show error to title input field. This time, enter the title of the property. After entering the title of the property, click post add button. It will show error to description edit text. Now, enter the description of the property and also email for the property and click post add button. It will show error to phone number input field. Now enter the phone number. After entering the phone number, click post add button. It will show to us that pick at least one image. Now take some images from the camera and gallery and click post. This will start uploading the data to Firebase. All properties will be saved in the properties node. In the properties node, it will create a separate node for each property based on the ID of the property. We will continue from here in next part and we will implement the Google Map to pick the location for the property.